Hey everyone, let's take an unscripted and unedited look at some Casios here. These are the MTP-B145Ds. Now, I have three different colorways. This is the Dash 9, this is the Dash 4, and this is the Dash 2A1 model. So these watches first came out in 2023. Zoom in a little bit on these. 2023, and they came out in, I think, 5 different colorways. This light blue was one of them, or cyan. A dark blue. There was a white version, which had Arabic numerals. There was a full gold dial and gold-plated case version. And there was one other. A pink one, yeah, at the very least. And I thought they were pretty cool looking. This style of watch has been popular the past couple of years. No doubt popularized by the Tissot PRX. But I wouldn't call these clones of that PRX. Not a lot of people may realize this, but Tissot wasn't the first company to make a watch with an integrated bracelet. I do think their recent success with it has kind of brought it back, and other companies are kind of following suit there. But this style of watch has been popular for a long time. I actually happen to have a vintage, neo-vintage Casio, which my best guess is that this is from 1986. And this too has an integrated bracelet, very similar dimensions and specs to this new watch here. I really like this little guy here. It is the MMW 30. I don't think this was available in lots of cool colors. Maybe it was just silver and maybe a black dial, but pretty cool little vintage watch. I wanted to get that on camera for people to see because I'm not really reviewing watches. I'm not a watch reviewer, just focused on new. That's a cool little Casio here. I have no information on the price or anything, but this new watch, I do know the price. I think the retail price is like $65, $75, but the street price on these is more like $45, $50. I don't think this watch is available directly for purchase in the US, but I buy it the same way I buy any watch in the US. I go to a web page, put in my credit card, and it's shipped to my door. And I paid, I think, $40 to $50 for each of these watches. So those original 5 colors were last year, 2023, but this year they came out with 3 more colors. The red variant and this yellow gold variant. They also came out with a green. So every color under the sun you could imagine in this new format. As I said, MTP-B145D. MTP watches, the M is definitely men's. There's also an LTP for ladies. TP, I don't think anyone really knows. Maybe timepiece. And then within that, though, there are so many watches. Casio might even have more analog watches than digital watches over the years. And so the B series, they seem to be a little nicer. One thing I have noticed about these MTP watches overseas, they have a name, the Enticer series, which they don't seem to use everywhere. Most of these Enticer or MTP watches are brass and chrome plated, but these watches are stainless steel. So that's a nice step up. The back also stainless steel, but it is a snapback. That is not a sapphire crystal. I think that's pretty appropriate for $45. Stainless steel bracelet, but you could see they are rolled links. So it's an inexpensive watch, but it's kind of fun. Let's try to get one of them on. You know, my goal is to get these under camera so you can really see what they look like up close, see what they look like on the wrist. I have a 7.5-inch wrist. I've been wearing smaller watches recently. I think this is perfectly appropriate. We'll get some dimensions on here. Let's see. So width will measure just outside of the crown. I'm getting 35 millimeters. Yeah, I think that's what they quote. Lug to lug, you can see this does drape straight down, which is good. And that's 39.5, 40 millimeter. And thickness or thinness, that's the watch's key attribute. What is that? 7 millimeter. That's kind of impressive. Now for this price, I don't think you'd expect anything other than a pressed clasp like that. But, you know, the nice thing about this watch, you're not spending much. You get something fun. You get something colorful. A nice sparkly bracelet. And if you don't like these three colors, as I said, there's another 5 or so. Yeah, really cool little watch. As far as I know, all of the dials are sunburst. And so you don't see a lot of Casios that are yellow, and certainly not yellow sunburst. I'm going to try to put it inside that ring light there. You see all the indices, they're nice and shiny. I would give you a lume shot, but I'm not going to because there is no lume. These are very straightforward watches. And even though I said that they're an integrated bracelet watch, they're technically not. That's a standard spring bar. Let me see if I could try to get, on camera, I don't know, but try to get a dimension here of the lug to lug. I'm seeing, am I seeing 20? Yeah, 20, yeah, that's a 20 millimeter lug. And those are spring bars, so you could put on a 20 millimeter strap. I do think this watch would look best either on this bracelet or some strap that flares out like this. You know what? Let's do it right this way. That's a little, no, that's an 18. So forget that I said 20, 18 millimeter. So a standard 18 millimeter strap, you can find some 18 millimeter straps that flare out like this, so it matches the case width. But all in all, I think a really cool, fun little option. You know, you don't buy a watch like this thinking it's going to be your everything. You'll wear it nothing but for the next 20 years of your life. This is just a fun addition. And I really like the size. Let's get some good close-ups on these, and I think that's all we need. You know, I just want people to see what they look like. You see there's some circular brushing on the top of the case. The bezel here is polished. It's not extraordinary polish, but it's polished. The sides are polished. The backs are fully polished. And you have water resistance, kind of what you'd expect. It's going to be, actually, it's better than I expect. It's 5 bar. You really probably could swim with this. I wouldn't swim with it every day for the next 20 years, but honestly, you're probably going to be fine. I know a lot of people want 100 to swim in. I think that that's actually ridiculous. I know you're probably going to disagree with me there, but professional dive watches used to be 70 meters at one point. Really cool. Let's take a look at the blue. Maybe my favorite. I love this color, cyan. Just get a good look at that on camera. I'd say that's pretty much hitting its markers, as good as you can possibly ask for. And at arm's length, it will look flawless. Tiny little crown, but it's a quartz watch. Really doesn't matter. Wow, that's a mirror finish. You can check to see if something's in your teeth on this watch. All right, and let's get a good look at the red. I forget if I showed that up close. Not worth mentioning, but in case you didn't realize, they have a date. I think that's it, given that there's no lume. There's no way to close out on a lume shot, so let's bang these all together and get them all scratched up. Get a nice little family shot here. There you go. Cool little Casios there. Thank you very much.